I mean, fucking this morning, man, GMB, you had the editor of the Mirror going on demanding that the government does something about, the financial side of things. And he must have known full fucking well that there was a huge announcement coming later today. But that scumbag sat there on GMB scoring bullshit political points for the Labour Party. And he was like, he knew there was an announcement coming because it got announced the night before when Boris did his big thing. Because if anyone doesn't know, Boris is doing daily updates now, and they are worth a watch, actually. The substance.
If only for the way he walks to that podium.
I know, but he said tomorrow would be the financial stuff. Specifically, the Chancellor's going to be here leading the speech, but all day, all fucking day. What about rent? What about mortgage? What about businesses?
I had a chat with 2 journalists this morning.
Yeah.
Because one of them said, why are they so reasonable on Twitter and so outrageous in print? Because he works for a publication that aren't outrageous. They just aren't. Excuse me, at least about things like this. So I said, well, they don't get paid for the personal tweets on Twitter. Everyone's got to be outraged. Everyone's got to be terrified. Now, I think what'd be cool is, we're not experts, although everyone knows that we know everything, and I'm always right. Painfully correct about most things. Graham, not so much. Don't take it personally, dude. We can't all be like me, dude. I'm sorry. And you're trying your best. You've improved a lot from that weird leftist you were when I met you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Aidan. Don't you fucking propagandize on me right now. I've had enough of this nonsense today.
I'll link people to some of your earlier Game 3 shows. They'll know exactly what you were.
Go on. What, me fucking arguing with people? No, I'm not even doing this. You fucking nonsense. Your Orwellian bullshit. It's like fucking Foxy. You remember Foxy when she came down? Oh, you were a communist last time I saw you. I was like, no, I wasn't. Everyone just assumed I was because I had long hair and wore old clothes. Everyone was like, oh, he's the fucking commie. I didn't even know what communism was. I just used to smoke weed and hang out with people. I didn't give a shit about their ideology. Fuck off.
Well, thank you for explaining yourself to me.
Fuck off.
But I think what we need is to pull away from... There's 2 areas of great concern here.
Yes.
The mainstream media sensationalism and the outright denial. So you've got the people like we're all doomed on one side, and you've got the it's just a cold on the other. Both are fucking dangerous. So, let's say we're not experts. We're not virologists. We don't claim to be. What we've got here is a disease that some scientists are still claiming came from animals. It's a novel coronavirus. Which meant originally it could only be passed from animal to animal and animal to person. However, it's mutated twice, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's 2. There's an A and a B one.
I think it's SNL, isn't it? SNL, and it's slippery.
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to realise that.
No.
They're like, oh, well, it might be like SARS and not... No, it's already mutated. It already has. We're just hoping it doesn't do it again.
And one of the big concerns is from the side of people that are going, well, everyone dies of the flu anyway. What's the big problem? Is that they're completely underestimating the effect this is genuinely going to have. This is some 10 times, based, by the way, solely on the statistics we have. We don't have an infinitesimal percentage of the information about this virus that we do about the flu. But the flu is a human disease. This is a coronavirus. This is not a human disease. Well, it is now, but it didn't, we have no natural immunity to this. So it's some 10 times more likely to kill based on the information that we have. We have no way of knowing how many people are actually infected in this country already. Now, today, I had lots of people telling me I was thick because I was questioning the idea of we should be testing everybody. They're saying everybody should be tested so we know what's going on. How does that work? Do we make everyone go for testing so they're all queuing at a medical centre, doing millions of tests, but by the way, we'd have to do them every 3 days. Can't just do them once.
No, it's a waste of time at this point, man. We're beyond that. We're way beyond that.
Absolutely futile endeavour. All our resources and funds should be in protecting the vulnerable. Nothing more. Protect the vulnerable. And that includes businesses, the economy, everything else. But we have to go, right. My thoughts on it are reasonable isolation. So, you can still go to the shops, these bits and pieces. The concern is not that people from, toddler to 60 will die. It's that they'll be too poorly to work.
Yeah. People are talking about the economy as if it's some evil of capitalism, but the economy is the thing that gets food delivered to you. It's the thing that keeps the lights on. It's the thing that, as you fucking toilet flushing.
Well, that's what I got told. Like, capitalism above everything. No,
like
the basics.
Survival.
Yeah, the basics.
If you're going to have millions of people living over a few square miles, then you need constant links, constant transport. I think most people are past the flu thing now, though, aren't they? They're past it's the flu. I mean, saying that, I'm only saying that because I've been off Twitter, man. Like, guys, if any of you are using Twitter to gather information about this thing, stop now.
That's me. That's me.
Well, because I know, and it's just bad, man, because it's misinformation and panic and nonsense. I mean, we got this here. I mean, I don't know where this has come from, but Ian just said Boris ain't giving up a nickel. The insurance companies must be leading hard on him. Capitalism, hey? No, they confirmed
380 billion.
Yeah, but not only that, they confirmed that they've. Here's the thing. Here's where we are right now. So yeah, there's the 380 billion that's been made available, billion. But not only that, they confirmed today that they've done a deal with the insurance companies, and if your business is affected by this, you will be covered. I know but if you go on Twitter, that's not the case. On Twitter, they're going, oh, the dirty bastards are getting out of it, and they're not classifying it as a thing. No. We are in a classification now as if the government has shut down these businesses, because they are going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You got to remember, a lot of people are about to get sick, and a lot of people are going to die. No matter what we do, no matter what, a lot of people are going to die by anyone's measure. So right now, they're just slowly easing us into it before we fully fucking lock down and shut places.
100%. What they're doing is it makes it easier to justify the more draconian approach, because they can say, look, we gave you the chance. Luckily doing it at the point where, because all these people say we need isolation now, it's like, guys, the gate was wide open. That horse has long since fucking bolted. We are all, probably over 80% of the population, going to be infected.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's too late. They should have shut the borders weeks ago, but obviously that was a racist thing to do, apparently, even though planes don't check by fucking skin colour before they let people on. And the less politically correct countries are fuck off with the spelling of my name. But yeah, they're seeing like reduced. I mean, fucking Russia, man. Look at West Virginia as well. Not a case. Not a single case.
I've told you what's going to happen in West Virginia.
They've not got one though.
No.
They've just got like fucking enthusiastic hicks at the border.
But you know what's going to happen, don't you?
Just standing there like, no. Turn back, motherfucker.
Yeah, but Graham, you know what's going to happen.
What?
As the rest of the nation slowly gets over it, the third mutation that everyone else is immune to will ride through there like death on his white horse. But a lot of these people saying, well, Russia doesn't have as many deaths recorded. Since when do we trust them? It's like people saying to me, well, China got over it. It's like, what do you mean China got over it? Well, we could do what they did. Do you know what China did? They were welding people in apartments to starve to death.
Yeah. Have you seen today they've just been expelling journalists from China and Hong Kong, Macau?
Of course, they're lying through the fucking teeth.
Yeah, they're pointing out, well, they discovered a case going back to November. Officially, this is December, although even that's a fucking rewrite of history, because apparently, anyway, these journalists are reporting on what is apparently a fact in that samples were destroyed. Things were just kept quiet, and they're just getting rid of them all now, which is interesting because CNN has actually got a major base in Hong Kong, as I'm sure other news networks do. But they've got a lot of CNN International comes out of Hong Kong, So I don't know how they're going to get away with expelling journalists, especially as some of them are local. But no, in China, they'll just disappear and turn
Well,
up in
we have
3
to
years.
remember, don't we, that China sat on it for the best part of 2 months.
Yeah, China caused this, man. 100%. People are forgetting that.
And the doctors who were healthy, middle-aged people died. The ones that told the world we've got a problem. I mean, this is China. Since when do we go? Say what you like. The nice. It's China. It's a communist regime. It's not nice.
And that's not advocating for attacking some Chinese guy on the street or anything. This is the Chinese government. It's an entirely different. But people are conflating that, you know, as if he's. I mean, fucking. Did you see Trump said the Chinese virus? And obviously he's playing politics in the same way that Obama said British Petroleum.
Yeah.
When there was that oil leak. Do you remember? Yeah. And they're not called British Petroleum. They're called BP.
They're not even. They're not owned by Britain anymore.
No. But Obama played politics in exactly the same way, and it was kind of scummy that he did that. But the World Health Organization had a full-blown press conference about Trump saying the Chinese virus, and it was all about don't call it the Wuhan cough. Don't call it. And the WHO are actually doing fucking conferences about hurt feelings right now.
During Boris Johnson's appearance today, Robert Peston, political correspondent for ITM, wasted precious time asking about his dad's comments. Because Boris Johnson's dad is like, well, sometimes you've got to go to the pub.
Yeah.
Fair enough, it's his life. You know, whilst it's his choice, big fucking well. The press are fucking evil with what they're doing at the moment. They're not being straight with people. They're not being honest. You know, they're reporting the oddest shit.
That's just, I mean, fucking Peston, come on, mate. Come on, this is a time, and you know what? It's actually been all right. There's been some good cross-party stuff. I was watching Parliament today, and they were grilling. God, what's his name? The Chancellor. They were grilling him on the economic plans, and there was some good stuff that came up about rent and all that. And some of it was partisan, but you know what? Genuinely, I haven't seen a day in Parliament as good as today for fucking months, maybe years, because the opposition were genuinely challenging it and questioning it and bringing new perspective. And it wasn't just bullshit. It was like, oh, we actually have to do our fucking jobs now. We actually have to take this seriously. I was enjoying it. And questions about Boris's dad are not appropriate.
No.
Nobody gives a fuck, man. People are freaking out. This needs to be, taken very seriously.
Again, you're going to get people lashing back at it for political reasons.
Yeah.
I hate Boris, therefore everything he does is bad. We've got to get fucking past this because I'm very concerned. I'm not panicking, but I know that financially this could send me under. I also know that I've got my parents are both in their 80s. My father is a cancer survivor who had a stroke and is in kidney failure right now, getting dialysis 3 times a week. I've had to tell them they've got to stay at home for 3 months and trying to explain that, no, you can't go out to the shops. I'll have to bring a box down every few days. And, no, I can't come in and see you. Now, I can't go into too much detail about this. This is the attitudes we're facing. This is why we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
A man that Mrs. Hewitt met today, and by the way, she was definitely more than 10 feet from him, probably had COVID. Fever, cough, sore throat. His son was suffering the same. He rang 111. So look, we've had this. He's had a fever, got a dry cough. I'm having trouble breathing. They told him to go into work. The people at work, nobody would take the responsibility going, go home. Nobody. It's just someone she knows, because they saw each other. And she went to say hello, and he went, stay over there. So they had a conversation across, the length of a bus shelter.
Why has he gone in work? Why?
Because 111 told him to go into work.
Have a fucking I'd just stay at home, Jesus Christ.
But what? Yeah, but not
Why would
everyone's
you?
like that, is it? So he's worried about his
People
job,
fucking
and he rings 111. Who said to him, "You're fine going to work. You're fine going." Now, he'd have wanted cover, wouldn't he? He'd have wanted to ring in work and say, "Look, I can't come in. I've been on to 111. They've said stay at home." Now, legally, he'd have been within his rights just to stay at home anyway. But the fact is, people are worried. People are
They are.
concerned. And, he was terrified. So he rang 111. They said, go in, and he's there. But no one would take responsibility, apparently, of sending him home. So, of course, when Mrs. Hewitt saw him, she was like, never mind what your boss is. Go home.
Yeah, just fuck off, man.
Go home. Shut your door,
Dude, though, this is it's funny because you got all the people on Twitter, like, wash your hands, you cunt, and all that nonsense. And then there's people in the know, there's people, but a lot of people haven't got a clue. People, when I picked my daughter up today from school, people were panicking. They were like, "We just don't know anything. We don't know anything." And I was like, "Fair enough. There isn't a strong story right now."
No, Smoke Steve said he should be criminally charged, but I don't think he should.
Well, if he's phoned them, he's done what he's been asked to do,
and he was told to go into work.
If he hasn't got sense enough to do that, how did he get the fucking job in the first place?
Well, I'm not going to mention where he works or anything
no,
else.
No.
This is a man who's scared. And
yeah.
Being scared, he's probably infected 30, 40 people with what he does. Maybe more.
I tell you this though, man, it don't make a difference. It don't make a fucking difference.
Not a blind bit.
If he goes in and stays on. I tweeted about this, didn't I? Like when I pick my girl up, because I go on the bike with a little seat for her. We usually go through the park anyway, but I was like, I'm definitely going through the park today because I want to see it all desolate on a sunny day, and it was hammered. I've never seen more kids playing basketball than I have today. It was the basketball court was packed. They don't give a fuck. All they know is that mum's panicking has kept them off school, but mum has to go to work and shit. And they're just the park. Every single bench had kids on it, like in little pairs and stuff. No matter what we do, no matter how much you panic and wash your fucking hands, they're just spreading it.
I guess Smoke Steve's saying fuck
right
that
now.
shit. He's a free-thinking human being. He's willingly infecting people. He probably infected more people before he showed any symptoms than he did after showing symptoms. That's the thing, guys. We're gonna get it.
Do you want to hear some terrifying things directly from an infection control nurse who came down with COVID today? She's been treating people. She's got the symptoms. I think most NHS staff have been sent home. I mean, are not being sent home. But she was so bad they were just like, go. But yeah, this is the latest. She told me that it lasts 3 hours in the air. So some fucker just driving by coughing. It can last 24 hours on card. So all those food deliveries and Amazon that you're getting right now to lock up, all that stuff, it can last a full day on there, up to 2 to 3 days on plastic and stainless steel, which is probably why they're trying to get everyone out of the restaurants at the moment, because all that cutlery, if it hasn't been washed properly, it can last up to 3 days. 4 hours on copper as well, but 3 hours just in the air.
Well, this is the thing with the panic. When I was in Tesco, I was in the queue for the kiosk there, and there was a guy. His trolley was fucking overflowing. I said, "What's all this, mate?" He went, "Well, panic. Everyone's buying, so I'll buy. Don't want to get the virus." And I said, "Dude, did you wipe the handle of your shopping trolley before you went in?" He's like, "No." I said, "Have you touched your face?" He went, "I don't know." I was like, "Ah. Well, there's a good chance you got it then." Oh, he wasn't happy. I mean, we're going to get it. The trick is to stay away from those that are vulnerable. It's like, I won't go and see... Well, I wouldn't go and see my dad right now. We're having a cold.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously incredibly susceptible to anything. But it's like, well, that's that part of my life for now is finished. I'm going to be we're going to be FaceTiming my parents, which in itself is a nightmare. I reckon very
Yeah.
soon, Junior's going to be off school.
You get this, don't you, when you FaceTime grandparents?
Yeah.
That's the angle you get. Hello? My mum's got used to it now, though, actually.
Oh,
Grandma.
Smoke Steve, stop. You're sounding like an expert, and that's simply not true. Most of the spreading happens when a person is coughing and sneezing. Okay, did you not listen to what Graham just told you? If they coughed an hour before onto their hand, there's a good chance they touch a surface. That shit is waiting for you. They don't have to sneeze in your face or lick your eyes, although that would probably help. This shit is just lying there waiting, dude. It's waiting for you.
We were saying this earlier, though, weren't we? Like that Weinstein fucker, the rapist, he's probably licking toilets right now, isn't he? He didn't want to do 23 years or whatever it is in a New York prison. He's like licking all the bars as you go past, like, just please. Give me the COVID, someone.
Please, something.
I got to say as well, again, with the panic that's been happening, like, there's been the 3-month mortgage holiday that's been announced, and people are really freaking out about rent. But rent is not the same thing. Everyone that pays rent has their own individual situation where they're paying a company or a private individual or a council or a thing, and everyone pays different rent or whatever. It's that something is coming in those lines, and I'll tell you in a second something that's already happened, so just calm down. But sorting out mortgages is different, because you can talk to banks, which is what the government's done. Yeah. They've agreed with the banks. The banks are going to give people that holiday, and it's not like they're going to get 3 months for free.
No, it goes on.
It's just a holiday. It's just this is just a vacation from paying it. So people are like, well, why can't I get a vacation from a rent? Well, it's like, well, yeah, but you'd still owe 3 months rent. What are you going to do? Like, but they have released 500 million to local councils, so that if at the moment the situation is, if you're in the shit and you are off, you can, in theory, get in touch with your local council, and their hardship funds are going to be through the roof at the moment.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good. But the thing is, the problem is though that is something that's being debated and sorted out right now. How do you do it? Because if they say, right, okay, we'll give people 3 months rent, that rent still needs to be paid.
Yeah.
It's not like you know, that people can just suddenly, because then all the landlords will go out of business. So
I think it's going to be looked at as housing. It's going to be looked at as housing benefit, isn't it? An extension of housing benefit.
Yeah. Which they've already lowered the standards for dramatically, so it is possible. It's just but the problem is, if they said tomorrow, right, 3 months nobody pays rent, which honestly would help. It'd be a big help for everyone, because even if you're still working and contributing, you've just got that weight off. Like, well, I've got a bit more money now.
Yeah.
Even if they just said that tomorrow, the amount of paperwork and red tape and processes that they'd have to do everyone would have to prove the rent individually and all that. It's money and time that we don't have now.
No, how it'll work, it'll be. I think it'll be much simpler, because obviously councils are going to be affected by how many people are off work and stuff as well. So I think it'll just be a case of, right, you know, if you can't work and you're self-employed, or you're 0 hour, whatever it is, you're not going to be evicted. That'll be the first thing they'll do, is lift that 3 month and you're out thing. Landlords are going to take a hit, but they are a business, so they will be able to claim on that as well, and then it will be back paid. It'll be backfilled by housing benefit at a measurable cost to the country, because, you know, some people are saying, why should we bail this one out? But this is the most essential bailout we could ever imagine.
Yeah, man, I ain't for government intervention, but this is an emergency. This is
what governments are for.
This is literally what they're for. This is the point where they actually have a use, and all the astonishing power that they have has a point, and it's, you know. But unfortunately, they carry on with this.
Astonishing power. Wait till you see what they got at the end of this.
I suspect, though, the best way would be, and this is what they're discussing in America at the moment, would be just standardized payments. Like if everyone got, you know, if everyone got 700 quid, and if you've got a kid, you get 500 on top of that. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to sort it, because they can just get you off your tax then. You know, if you're a taxpayer, if you're a registered voter, if you've got a national insurance number, whatever, they can give you that money. You can
Yeah.
pay rent with it or whatever. I think that's definitely something they're looking at, and that's probably the best way to go because that's the lowest stress, lowest admin.
Well, that's the thing.
Do you know what I
If you
mean?
give people their rent plus their shopping
Yeah,
and take that worry away from them, they will stay in. But when people are worried and afraid, because people are scared right now.
yeah, terrifying,
And
man.
when they're scared, and then so you got to use the police to force them in the houses, the economy suffers even worse. So the government, I don't believe our government are doing quite as badly as everyone else likes to make out. It's only been a day between announcements. This is a very fluid situation. And we could end up like Italy, where you have to go on a website and say why you're leaving the house. But you know what? In the short term, that's acceptable. These are wartime measures. That's all this is. My concern, obviously, is that they'll hang on to these powers at the end. But do you know what? This is not the time to worry about that.
No, 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 no. Of course not. Um, honestly, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it's going because if they were brutally straight up honest about how bad this is going to get and how many people are going to die and how much tragedy is going to be, if they and this is the thing with the fucking journalists, and I get why they're doing it. They're just doing the job, but they're chasing that soundbite to create maximum panic, and it's like ultimately right now the government is doing and this is why it's a shame that there isn't that kind of respectful relationship with journalists and politicians as much as there maybe was at one time, because right now they are very much in a thing where if any number gets said officially, like, because they made this mistake yesterday where they said, oh, the a best case scenario, was it 30 or 40,000 deaths?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it was somewhere around that. They said that is a good outcome for this. And obviously that just got repainted in the press as this horrible, like they're aiming to kill people.
Yeah, of course.
They're looking to kill people. And it's like, no. That's and it's just creating this astonishing panic. And then people are blaming the Tories.
The newspapers are printing fucking tweets as headlines.
They are, and they're scumbags because they don't need to, because everyone is going on the news anyway. Sky News had fucking 75. No, it got up to 82,000 viewers on YouTube alone today. The live feed for Sky News. When I put it on, 82,000. They don't need salacious headlines, man. People want to know. They've got a captive audience.
Can I just? I think, and as I said, we're not experts. A lot of this is our opinion. But we've got nothing to sell you in these terms. Someone's just said the only way to stop a global pandemic is isolation. You're not stopping this. Get that idea out of your head. Get rid of it. It's not going to be stopped. It's going to be controlled controlled. They're going to do the best to keep that curve as flat as possible until a vaccine is available. Locking yourself away, it'll be waiting for you when you come out. We have to protect the vulnerable until there's a vaccine. They told them stay in 3 months. It's going to be longer than that.
Oh, almost certainly. And here's the thing: I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying, but like, how sane are you gonna be, and how sane do you expect everyone else to be after being inside for a month?
I'll be I'll be climbing the wall. Poor Mrs.
It's already failed.
Herself.
I mean, you saw those pictures of spring break. All the kids are out partying hard, man. They don't give a fuck, dude. When I went Sainsbury's today, nobody cared. They were buying because they know they need to buy things, but it was just groups of students all together, laughing, texting. Nobody give a fuck, man. So it's like, yeah, you yourself can cut yourself off from the world, but you've got to think about it in terms of the mass. You're not going to stop them, and you're not going to stop kids.
No, of course not. And Harley's just said there's no vaccine. No, obviously there isn't. Believe me, they're working harder on this than any other vaccine in recent history. In fact, probably history. They're knocking their pans out to come with a vaccine for this. And I imagine it'll be with us sooner rather than later. But sooner does not mean next week.
Dude, did you see the conspiracy theory about Israel saying, well, they've been working on it for a year. How did they know? And it's like, because coronavirus isn't a new thing, but just this strain is new. It's existed for ages. It's not like a brand new. So, yes, there's been research on coronavirus, but just not this.
Well, I mean, there are many coronaviruses.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a novel coronavirus. It's a new one. But yeah, it's just like, how did they know a year ago?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, mate, calm down. I hope Israel gets there. I really do.
See,
so
Farley's making a lot of claims. The bug will change and become less lethal. What if it changes and becomes more lethal?
I mean, it could do.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Blind Fury asks, when do you think the virus will come to an end in the UK? June. No, I think it'll be 2021. Probably at least a year away before we're really on top of it properly, where we can go, all right.
It's looking like a year, isn't it? It is. Yeah. I mean, which again is the thing with the isolation. How the fuck, oh, let's close the schools. Yeah, okay. So how does that work then? The weather's getting nicer every day. How do we keep kids inside for the next 6 months? It can't be done.
No,
it can't. Not without people just going mad, and not without the economy, which is our food and water and everything, just completely fucking up. We do have to think about that. And here's the thing: people in this country. Well, this country's closed the schools, and it's like, yeah, technically they did close the schools, but then they reopened them again to run daycares for all the police and teachers and healthcare staff and everyone, and basically everyone. They closed the schools technically, yes, but they just fucking reopened them again. It's not it's not feasible. If you're in a position to keep your kid at home, which I am, then good for you. But you've got to think about this on a population wide thing. As you said, Aidan, 70% of nurses have got families. What the fuck are they going to do? And they're in a balance, a careful balance.
Even the government are talking, aren't they, that schools will only remain open in terms of childcare for frontline staff.
Yeah.
Doctors, nurses, firemen, policemen, things of that nature. I mean, the thing is, you can take your kid to the park, but not to the play park. We're in for a really creepy, weird time.
I'm already seeing it, man. I'm already seeing parts of America where schools have closed, groups set up to keep the kids busy. It's like, what's the fucking point then? You might as well have kept them there. At least they're learning to read properly, and well, hopefully anyway, and finding out the trans. Dude, did you see this school's just got in the shit for that here, hasn't it? Because it had an astonishingly high rate of trans kids.
Yeah.
And they've just been sued now because most of them were autistic.
Oh, Jesus.
They're just the most vulnerable kids ever, in the woke crowd are like, well, you're obviously really a boy, aren't you?
Sometimes you wonder if this virus isn't such a terrible idea, don't you?
You
really do. Sometimes you think maybe this is what we fucking deserve.